Hello there, it's me RGB, and today we're joined by the one and only, well, there's two players, the two and only two, 458 and Minchul. Let's get this going. We've got 458 on the name Morongo. We've got Minchul on the name SH, with a lot of barcode in between. It's kind of a pattern that Minchul always goes for. I mean, maybe not anymore, but something he used to do a lot back in the day is go for a letter, maybe a number. A lot of L's and I's in between, and then another letter, or another number. That's kind of how you can recognize him in most replays. And you, of course, always got to check on, does he have the same hotkeys? We're using Brute War Chart, which is a program which lets you look up the hotkeys of the players in the game. And of course, you can also look up what their EAPM is, just to make sure that you got the right player. And the EAPM, of course, can be looked at with SCR Chart, one of the very best programs to assist you in basically data interpretation on StarCraft. Okay, so both players here starting out with standard build orders, 4-8, 2-gate, Nexus. No Forge yet, he doesn't need that one yet, because he's got Marines to protect him. He's got Zealots to protect himself against those Marines coming in from Minchul. Because one Marine there sneaking into the base, gonna try to maybe damage a probe, maybe kill a probe. It really depends on how good his micro is with that one single Marine. Goes for the attack, gonna try, ooh, he's still running. SV tries to finish up the probe player in the back stays alive. Marine is gonna have to run for his life if he wants to stay alive, because if it stays here, he's not gonna stay alive for much longer. He's gonna go back in. He's going back in, he's trying to dance. This is just Minchul trying to be, trying to show off. Because this game, of course, is played on his stream, and it's always fun to entertain your viewers with some tomfoolery. So that's kind of why he keeps running around in circles, just to see how long can he keep that Marine alive. Of course, also to keep information coming in. 4-8 tries to get it. Ooh, he avoids the probe. This is really good. He goes for a frontal attack at the same time while he's distracting him in the back. Marine in the back goes down, so now the fight at the front is happening, but the Marines are outnumbering the Zealots, but Zealots don't really care about numbers because they are pretty damn strong, and all you gotta do is a little bit of itsy bitsy micro to counter the Marine micro, and the Zealots will win the fight, as we saw right there. Although now more Marines are joining the middle there, he's gonna keep microing. 4-8 still in the chaser with the Zealots. Marines, actually, he did pretty well there, but all the Marines are now low HP, which means he can't really fight back until more Marines low HP join the fray. Oh, he kills two of them at the same time there. Great. Oh, this is such fun at the start of the game. This game is already exciting. It's small bits of action, but it's very good micro from both players, and this is just like, both players are just poking, hitting, trying to see whoever makes the mistake and how much the other is going to lose from making a single micro-mechanical mistake. Now, there's a pylon there on the bottom side, so Minchul is relocating that barracks that he lifted up to start building some firebats into 4-8's base. 4-8 does have a cannon there, so maybe it won't hit, maybe it will. It really depends on whether 4-8 is going to spot that barrack there while he's fighting there inside of Minchul's base. Minchul going for double command center. Barrack is spotted out there, so yeah, the firebat probably not going to do too much with the counters on the way in the back. Marines there fighting inside of Minchul's base. The medic there, though, being an absolute pain in the butt for those Zealots. They do eventually get on top of the Marines, but they don't really get too much done. Yeah, only one. No, looks like the second firebat will finish. Firebat's going to try to get on top of the ropes. He's going to try to block it off there with the. He gets on top of the ropes. Doesn't get the kills there, though. Only gets a single shot off, but another firebat there has spawned. 4-8's gonna try to keep that one away. He's lost some probes. Firebat's almost dead. Third firebat doesn't spawn. Minchul very steadily now getting his two command center up and running. Getting more barracks as well to replace the one that he just lost there. He could have lifted it up, but I think he wanted to try and sneak that very third firebat in to then maybe get on top of those probes, because the probes, most of them already took a hit of damage, although they are restoring and regenerating their shields very slowly. So that one shot on the probes not really gonna make too much of a difference. 4-8 though now is on full throttles, getting triple robotics. He's going very hard on the robotics plays, keeping everything there in the back. He doesn't want to lose anything there in the front, because Minchul can ledge, put his tanks here and start attacking this there and threaten the front really easily without taking any risk, because those cannons, those tanks would still be inside of his base. 4-Bait trying to get in there once again, but Minchul responds very quickly, does a lot of damage there to the Zealots. Zealots forced to retreat back home. Sadly, Minchul can't go in the chase because of those cannons where those Zealots will be safe. Triple Robo, we've got... where is the Star Gate already coming in? He really wants to get those Corsairs to help those shuttles fly in. Don't have a Robo there yet, there's the Robo. Do we have a triple shuttle on the way? Single shuttle? He might go for triple shuttle, not too sure. There's the double shuttle. Triple shuttle it is. So, because he's going for a triple shuttle, I'm just going to guess that he's going to try to fly in those Zealots first and start dealing some damage, kill some Marines, distract, maybe kill some turrets, just whatever they can achieve. And while those Zealots are still inside the base, or maybe they're already dead, he's going to follow up on that first Zealot drop with a triple Reaver drop? Not sure. It really depends on how well you can keep those shuttles that are transporting the units over the hill alive and bring them back. It should be easy though, because, you know, they're right next to each other, so it shouldn't be too difficult for him to fly those Zealots into Minchul's base. 3 Reavers on the way, so yeah, triple shuttle, triple Reaver. Maybe he's not even gonna send those Zealots in, because triple Reaver goes perfectly with 6 Zealots if you put them into shuttles, and there are 7 Zealots here, so 1 would remain at home. He's very quickly and rapidly adding on to his base. A lot of cannons already there in the back. Minchul on 2 factory, no starports there yet. He's going to rely on Marines. He's got 5 barracks for Marines. So yeah, he's going to rely on Marines to defend himself. He'll have 1 attack before the Marines on the way. Shuttle speed on the way there for 458, and so does he have the Zealot speed on the way. Now usually, this is kind of funny in my opinion, or interesting. Most of the time, pros just make their first Nexus below their the Nexus, like the add-on Nexus, the second one. He built it on the top side, building his remaining tech here. But this does mean that he won't be able to fill out this entire portion of gas. He'll only have these 5 here as access for gas. So he might have to proxy gas somewhat later into the game in order to get the amount of gas he needs if he is planning to go for carriers at some point into the match. He might need a proxy for that one. Looks like 4-8 is starting to load up. Triple Reaver, 6 Zealots going in for an attack. There's almost no turrets on the side, just a lot of units concentrated here in the backside. Marines with bunkers and tanks there to protect those SCVs. He's on 40 gas already. That's pretty early on in the game. You can see that he's got more gas than he currently needs, but he's going pretty hard and pretty quick on advancing with his technology. He's getting armories, he's got double starport here. The 1 starport is finished, 1 is on the way. Double factory producing tanks. Drop comes in from the right side instead of the left side. You would assume that you would just fly in over the left side because that's just the short side, but he's taking the effort to go all the way around and flying from the right bottom side. Goes in, starts to load the Reavers. 1 shuttle goes down, but 3 Reavers are arrived on the scene. Reavers going to shoot on the SCVs. The Scarabs don't connect. And actually, no damage is done whatsoever. All the Reavers and Zealots go down really fast. The tanks there shooting from far away, from a safe distance, take him down really easily. He couldn't shuttle micro with the Reaver because there were turrets on the scene and of course bunkers as well, which would shoot down the shuttle regardless of whether he tried to. Kind of sucks that he couldn't get that Scarab to connect. The SCV is just running away very quickly. It really depends on where the target is in that pile of SCVs. If the Scarab cannot touch that 1 SCV in the pile while they're running away, the Scarab is never going to explode. But here comes drop number 2. 9:30 in. Minchul is growing bigger and bigger. 67 SCVs. They're mining a big pile of depots there. Drop comes in from the bottom left side. He's trying to unload further away this time, outside of the tank range. He still gets pulled into the tank range. Kills 1 tank. Zealots getting pulled in. Zealots go down. More units are going to get picked up there back at home. He saves the shuttles, which means he can pick up these units immediately and immediately send in the double drop, basically, while those Reavers are killing stuff there inside of Minchul's base. Minchul is handling this pretty well, though, keeping his Marines out of harm's way, drawing those. Oh, he's still loading on top of everything. There comes the storm. He already dodged the storm there, though. Very quick reaction there from Minchul. Keeps most of his SCVs alive, but he did lose some Marines, did lose some units, but he handles that with losing the least possible that he could. Also, slowly fortifying his front. 2 tanks are up on the high ground. Triple bunker there as well with Marines inside them. Another drop there comes in. Gonna unload. He's gonna fly unload and basically try to unload on everything that he can. The tanks are killing the Marines, while the Zealots are trying to do the same thing. He couldn't unload a Zealot on top of the SCVs because he tried to, but the tanks unsieged the moment that Minchul caught on to the fact that 4-8 tried to kill SCVs with splash damage from the tanks. Very quick reaction there from both players, very quick thinking. This is the level of Protoss against Terran that I really like to watch. You don't have any force upgrades on the way there yet from 458. He's a little bit low on gas. He's mining from 4 gas only, and he's getting pretty much every single gas upgrade that he can with the gas that he can spend. Also very quickly adding on to his base, a lot of gateways already there, very consistently going for the attack, but Minchul so far has managed to prevent serious amounts of damage being dealt to his economy, or to his army, or to his base. Basically, he's holding on really well. He's building very compact as well. Oh, there comes the drop from the right side, left side. The loads on top of everything. I really like this flying unload strategy. There's no Templars in there. He's trying to preserve and save the shuttles. He saves 2 shuttles, so he goes out of there. Most of the Marines did go down, but most of the Zealots went down there. But they took some Marines and some tanks with them. They didn't die without achieving anything. One lonesome shuttle there going to fly all the way around. You're going to try to distract with a drop from the left, and then try to do a real drop from the right side. It's a double drop attempt from 2 directions, very, very perfectly timed actually. But the one from the right goes down, so it's just a distraction drop from the left side that manages to get in and start dealing damage. Still no force upgrades on the way there from 458. I'm really... Oh wait, he has weapon upgrade on the way now. It's very late for an upgrade for the gateway units, considering he's going for so many gateways. It's a very, very late and delayed upgrade, and he might have to get more of them. He's gonna have to get a 5th gas there as well, because you can see he's really running low on gas. His minerals are in a pretty good spot because he's got so many probes there mining minerals. He goes in once again, this time around from the same angle. Storm drop a little bit too far away, can't connect with... He finds the storm. He was just barely in range. Zealots in the front there killing whatever they can. They're getting pulled into that little narrow pathway in between the structures. Very well played there from Minchul. Manages to avoid real damage to his SCVs by being vigilant. And unlike me, he saw that the storm was, well, the Templar was within range to storm, whereas I assumed it wasn't. He's on 150 supply. He's really handling this really well. Handling this really well. Tries to go into the front door, but the tanks up on the high ground are being a bitch. Shuttle comes in there to basically take care of the units on the high ground, but the shuttle goes down before it can reach the second tank. So this frontal attack attempt from 458 doesn't really achieve that much. Very easily defended. Tanks over the high ground, very, very strong little thing to use. Really makes defending really easily. Although I think that if the tanks were behind the wall, we would have had the same result. Oh, he's just going straight into the base there, going onto the side there, going all straight into the base. Flies his shells into the backside there to try and force Minchul to drop dodge, but Minchul knows that there's nothing in there. Just, wow, what? How did the Templar get in there? How did the Templar was the Templar still inside the base? Did he fly it open on the bottom side? I don't know, but he just hit a massive storm drop there onto Minchul. 458 there with some really tricky play. So tricky that I didn't even notice it. Either that Templar was still alive, or it somehow snuck in with a shuttle there on the bottom side. But it was very, very well played there from 458. Minchul felt a little bit too safe, and he missed it, or he just missed it, like I did. He missed it, and he pays the price. 26 SCVs left alive, they're in the backside. Comes in with a frontal attack there, but this time around he's fortifying the wall. It's hard to get in there. Shuttle coming in to unload some units on top of the high ground there, although there's no units in there. He's going to take a couple... No, there's no units in there, but there is. I mean, got Reavers in there, but not unloading on the high ground. Big mistake in my opinion. He really should have unloaded on the high ground to prevent those tanks from defending this. Now he's just defending this really, really easily, because the Zealots on the side there are tripping out, and the Marines just finish them off with a stim attack. And they're pretty good upgrades actually. Well, 0-1. He's not getting level 2 weapon attack upgrade, even though he's relying on Marines so heavily. He's staying on the level 1 attack. I personally don't really like when players only go level 1 attack for the Marines when they rely this heavily on Marines to defend themselves. Because you're going to need those upgrades if the opponent is keeping their upgrade consistency, their upgrade frequency consistent. Although 458 isn't keeping his upgrade frequency consistent at all, he's just completely all-out focused on attacking. Storm's there on the high ground, trying to keep up the pressure, because he knows that he hit a storm drop on the SCVs just earlier. He has to keep up the pressure, but I really think that not forgetting to get upgrades is also pretty damn important. He's not yet breaking through. There's the tanks on the high ground, and the Marines behind the high ground are doing such a great job of slowing this all down and keeping the damage to a minimum. Already back on 40 SCVs there, mining from 4 gas still. He's got a lot of gas there in the tank. That's a lot of gas. You could honestly take the SCVs off the gas and start mining minerals with them to speed up the recovery process. Now also he's got these Valkyries hunting for shuttle drops. Close up on the high ground, there's a Reaver. Reavers are now stuck on the high ground, but they do take down the tanks there. The other tank on the other side is doing a pretty good job of staying alive because there's just 50% chance to hit from the low ground onto the high ground, so the Dragoons don't take him down. But now the Zealots though, the Storm kills like 20 Marines. That was a really good Storm. Really good Storm. There's not much left here in the front. He's got a steady Marine production there though, but honestly the front has really been pruned down. Another drop there comes in on the side. Multi-directional attack patterns and behaviors and strategies, trying to take down those turrets there on the side. The tank stays alive there pretty heftily. He really hasn't built much, even on the middle. He started building on the middle, but the moment he hit that storm drop, he's just been focusing on non-stop attacking. And honestly, it's not a bad idea to stop building completely and just focus on attacking non-stop. It is worth it. But you really have to do some significant amounts of damage, and he isn't managing to do damage at the moment. He's keeping Minchul very occupied, but while Minchul is very occupied there in the front, his SCV count is slowly recovering to a healthy amount, and once he hits about 70, and he can keep those SCVs on the backside alive, the fact that 4 of 8 doesn't have a lot of structures is going to hurt him. He finally starts building more gateways there on the middle, but still not having much success breaking through. The fire bats in the bunker there really doing a lot of damage, even though they only have 1 attack upgrade. Same there for 4 of 8, 1 attack upgrade, no shield, no armor. He can afford it though, but he's only on 4 gas as I mentioned before. He really has to get a 5th, maybe even a 6th one. The 6th one won't be optimally mined, but he has to get more gas into the bank to afford all those upgrades there in the back. He needs more upgrades for those gateways. But as long as he can keep the attack frequency high and keep dealing damage to Minchul, I feel that he can still keep dealing damage here. But Minchul is doing such a great job recovering. We've seen non-stop action, but less building. Okay, gotta take care of those turrets there on the side. Goes in for a drop, but flies into the Valkyries. Oh no. He's gonna try again though. He does some recon there. Marines have to stay away. Minchul knows that the drop is coming, so he's putting the Marines there. He's keeping his focus here on the side. He's ready to respond as fast as he can. Drop comes in, temples are closed. SCVs are running away there though. Doesn't really kill any SCVs that were significant or important. And yeah, he cleans it out pretty well. Dragoons are still up on the high ground, still alive. Most of the Marines have gone down to the Zealots and the Dragoons. Now he's unloading a couple tanks in the back, goes in for a frontal attack once again. But there's a lot of tanks there, a lot of bunkers, and a lot of structures that are making life difficult for 458. So the frontal attack not going to do too much, but a drop that comes in from the right side can't unload, though. He cannot unload the Zealots over this portion. He can't unload. Like, you can try it, but you won't be able to. There's Storms, misses the storm. SCVs immediately return back home. Another drop comes in there. Drop number 3 in rapid succession from every single direction. Still, once again, misses the storm. Minchul not messing up, keeping all of his SCVs alive. This time around, he is not going to lose those SCVs ever again. At least I hope I didn't ruin it for him, but I think he's playing in peak condition. He's playing in peak condition. He's playing as aware as you possibly could. Was 4 of 8, who's trying to focus all of his actions on attacking, might have to start preparing for the late game. It does have a lot of gateways, but not that many if you think about it. We've got like 8, 6, got about 14 there, a couple on the middle, so 20 in total. Comes in with a drop once again. Once again, he hits nothing there with the storm. He is forced to prematurely unload the Templar every single time because those Valkyries there on the side are preventing him from flying in any further. The upgrades for Minchul on 1-2, he's actually in a pretty good spot with upgrades, way better than 458. Another drop there tries to go in, but he can't go in because Marines are running to the backside there to help him defend against those shuttle drops. The frontal attacks, while consistent, also aren't having too much success. The loads a couple of Zealots there behind the hill, kills the tanks on the hill. Now there's no siege tanks in the front. He loaded up some tanks into the dropship, so he's going to take care of that. Now first, we got Dragoons attacking the tanks up on the high ground, but they're missing too many shots. Not taking down any tanks there at all. 4v8 has to start thinking about carriers. But I don't think he can switch over into carriers because Minchul is right next to him. Which means that the building time for carriers takes so long that he basically would get attacked and killed within the time it takes to get carriers. Now the tanks on the high ground are once again dead and gone, and the units keep streaming into the front door while he's now attacking from the left side once again. Minchul is being kept occupied. Oh, it's a double drop. Double drop. Where are the Templars? Ooh, looks like the shuttles all went down before any Templars could unload, but at least Minchul is forced to pull his SCVs off the minerals and once again lose some mining time. But not optimal. Now 4v8, please get more upgrades. Oh wait, he just started his level 3 attack. Still no armor, still no shield. Minchul is still on level 1 marine attack, even though, yeah, as I said before, he's making a lot of marines to defend himself. A little front attack that comes in, there's storms everywhere, storm at the high ground. He's gonna try to storm behind the hill, but he can't reach the marines in the backside, he can't reach them. So instead he storms up on the high ground, takes on the tanks once again, but his attack once again has failed. They're on the front door because the tanks on the high ground that he's frequently, consistently, repeatedly putting on there are just making this so difficult to break. Starts building more gateways on the middle there though. He's finally getting more structures. He hasn't really built anything for like 7 minutes or so, but he's continuing once again. Another drop there on the side. He's now putting tanks up on the hills as well, start hitting those gateways there on the side of the 4v8 space. He's unloading behind. This is a very good unload behind the hill. Very good unload right on top of all those marines and tanks. He's gonna try to kill as much as he can. Zealot on that high ground there on the side as well. He did a lot of damage. Most of the marines went down, but looks like the bunkers and the stim and probably the lack of armor and shield upgrades is really hurting 4v8's frontal attacks. If he had armor and shield upgrades, this would be much more successful. But not having armor and shield upgrades just makes those zealots and tanks so much easier to take down. Those zealots and dragoons so much easier to take down with stimmed marines that have level 1 attack upgrade. So the fact that Minchul only has level 1 attack upgrade isn't actually backfiring on him. As long as he can defend, as long as 4v8 doesn't get armor and shield, level 1 attack is going to be enough. It's going to be enough. Now those Valkyries are making it difficult for 4v8 to take down the tanks on the high ground. Still frequently attacking from every single direction. He's basically just doing a rinse and repeat method. And he's keeping Minchul occupied, but Minchul's supply count is now already on 190. Soon to be on maxed out, and his tank upgrades are also consistently being upgraded, only on 1-2, soon to be on 1-3, maybe even 2-3 once he gets the armor upgrade going as well, but he only has 2 armories. Might need a third one. Still only mining from 6 gas there, comes over the drop there from the right side, starts to unload pretty close to the tank. And it goes SV Storms. Doesn't really kill anything, kills about 5 or 6, so yeah. Storm dodge there from Minchul just in time. Still being annoying there with the tanks on the high ground. 4v8 still consistently attacking through the front door, but still hasn't made much progress. He killed 2 depots and a bunker, but nothing of significance. This is still going to be very easy for Minchul to defend. Well, maybe easy isn't the right word, but he's going to be able to defend that as long as he puts real effort into defending. Oh wait, tank drop comes in on the bottom side there, very close to the probes. Very close to the probe. This is starting to get dangerous. He's rolling forward, rolling closer, sieging up. Probes are gonna get hit. Probes are running away. Kills a bunch of them. Kills about 20. Oh yeah, he killed about 25. Zealots are coming to the bottom side to try and save the day, but it might already be too late because he lost so many probes and he only has double nexus. And about 4,000 minerals still in the bank to recover with. He does have 6 gas now, but he's not really mining from all 6 of them. 4v8's gonna have to build a lot of new probes there to recover. He's gonna need about 30 of them. So a lot of units are in the middle. He's maxed out, so actually he did lose about 25 probes, but he replaced that with some army. The tanks there are going to keep being placed up on the high ground. 4v8 is finally building more gateways here on the top side as well. He is not making probes. He's making probes, but he's supplied. He's on max supply, so he can't really make more probes. Oh, there's triple tank, 1 tank there gonna hit. Kills about another 6 or 5. Could have been worse, could have been worse. But Minchul is now taking over the game. 4v8 tried really hard to capitalize on that one storm drop he hit. Like he was just completely ignoring building a base. He was just going for non-stop attacking as fast as he possibly could. But Minchul defended it perfectly. Managed to recover, managed to get bigger than 4 of 8 can now possibly handle, though. There's a storm drop, very close. 1 storm, 2 storm. Kills about 12. Okay, kills about 12. Kills about 15. We hit something, but I think Minchul is at the point where he doesn't really care too much about losing a couple of FCDs, because he's still got 50 and he can easily make new ones with those 4 command centers there in the back, and a 5th one is there on the way. Another drop there comes out. He dodged the drop just in time. He needs more cannons there in the bottom corner. He needs a couple more cannons there. But honestly, at this point, the game could still go either way. Because you gotta think about it like this. All the tanks that Minchul puts here on the hill on this side are not gonna be defending the front side. Although he's got a lot of tanks there to defend the front side, it's still possible that 4 of 8, even though he has inferior upgrades on his gateway units, is not gonna come out. He's still gonna be able to... Okay. That's the one thing that 4 of 8 actually needed to do. He basically storm dropped every single SCV on the minerals. There's only 15 of them left. He still does have about 4,000 minerals in the bank in total though, so he can recover from this. As long as he manages to defend himself properly on the front, not lose too many units, not be forced to reproduce too many units, he should be fine. Because his upgrades are in a really good spot. 3 attack, 1 armor on the tanks. 4 of 8 still on 0 armor, 0 shields, only got attack upgrades. Not sure why he isn't getting armor and shield. Maybe he is way too focused on attacking non-stop. I mean, the attacking non-stop part is really good. He's doing a really good job there, but Minchul, as I said before, defends really well, and he is actually getting upgrades at the same time. I must also admit, attacking can be a bit more difficult and multitask intense than defending. Once again, tank on the high ground, gonna make this a little bit difficult. Dark Templars there to defend. Actually, I really like those Dark Templars there to defend. It means you can very easily and quickly take down those tanks that are continuously going to get dropped inside of 4 of 8's base. 4 of 8 now 53 probes. Got Minchul already on 42. He's recovering really fast with the 5 command centers, as opposed to 4 of 8 who has double Nexus. 4 of 8 currently unable to max out as fast as he wants to. Minchul is maxed out, but doesn't have that many factories or structures, but I don't think he needs a lot more. He's on the high ground though, but more drops are coming in. The Valkyries kill the shuttles, gets onto the low ground. Forces are scaring the drops into away. Dark Temples are forcing Minchul to unload on the high ground instead of on the low ground, but at least he has regained high ground control over this bottom portion of 4 of 8's base. He basically can't build anything here. He can't build anything. Valkyrie's flying back and forth. He knows the drop is incoming because he kept scanning the frontal portion there to keep track of whether there were shuttles or not. Finds a pretty good angle, but the Valkyries are going to respond, although where are they? They're always unloading everything on the high ground. Gonna try to run into the bottom corner there, but... so many units go down before they arrive, and the Zealots are blocking the Dragoons are blocking the Zealots. More tanks on the high ground. Pretty well done there by Minchul. Kind of questionable by 4 of 8. He tried to avoid the Valkyries, but the Valkyries had already run away. In the end, the trick to unload here, far away from the Valkyries, didn't really work out as he wanted it to. And now Minchul is slowly gonna push forward and closer towards the Nexus. When is he gonna arrive there? I don't know. Got another drop shuttle there on the right side of the map. Gonna fly in from the top right here. There's a wide opening. The Valkyries are also pretty far away from home, but tanks are progressively pushing deeper into Nexus territory. 4 of 8 not really feeling too well about this one. He's not feeling too good about this one, Mr. Stark. Mr. Stark, come on, Mr. Stark, please give 4 of 8 a little bit of help here. Comes in for the bottom right. Gonna go straight for those minerals, but so is 4 of 8 going straight for the minerals. Which one? Ooh, Minchul runs away. Valkyries are coming in hot. Templars are unloading. Templars are not unloading. It's just Zealots everywhere. Templars are there. I see the Templars. Storm misses the storm. As he's gonna return back to the minerals soon, though. So first he's gonna try to kill all the Templars before running back. He has to kill the Templars first before he can return to the minerals. And yes, he does. He kills the Templars and returns back to the minerals. 4 of 8 here in the backside, still alive. Pretty intense game. He did lose a bunch of SCVs. Not sure where he lost them though, but... Oh, it was a tank shot. It was a tank shot that killed his own SCVs, but now he's here, ready to kill the Proto 458 and maybe kill the Nexus as well. Does he have an EMP? He does have an EMP, but he doesn't have... isn't going to use it. He uses a good defensive matrix instead to get a bit more damage on the Nexus. Maybe he's going to kill it before... No, he's not going to kill it before he cleans out those tanks on the bottom side. Another drop is already being loaded up there. 458 is struggling. He has to build a lot of cannons here on the bottom corner. Maybe get more units there. But he's struggling to stay alive. Well, now units are being loaded into Minchul's base. Gonna try to kill what he can. Fly straight for the SCVs in the backside, but only Zealots are loading. He's killing whatever he can, and yeah, he's giving up. He's giving up. He played his hand by going all in with his focus on attacking, not building. He had the time to go over carriers, but he wanted to keep up the pressure. That's a very important little distinction to make. Don't be wrong about this. 4 of 8 played really well, but he tried to capitalize on the advantage he had when he hit the Storm Drop. If he can kill you early by not going for upgrades, by not focusing on building a base, but by focusing on using everything he has at the moment on production of units and attacking with those units, then he can win the game very fast. He can win the game maybe at 15 minutes, maybe 13 minutes, maybe even faster. But the playstyle of 458 of focusing only on attacking when he has the chance to kill the opponent, if it doesn't work, because as I said, there's a chance, not a guarantee. There's a chance he kills the opponent. If he doesn't kill the opponent can make a comeback kind of like this. Minchul held on very closely, he held on very tightly. He almost died a couple times, was very close to getting overrun, but every single time he defended properly, doing the exact right things, having very good multitasking, very good awareness, and he stayed on top. And as a result, Minchul wins the game, as 4 of 8 kind of realizes that he can't keep up with the frequency of the tank drops that are aiming for his probes. He really needed carriers at this point, but he simply couldn't afford or didn't have the time to go for carriers anymore. He was stuck with gateway units. Hope you enjoyed this one, I sure did, and please come back next time around when I probably will do another Minchul against 458 because I've got a lot of them. And honestly, I think Minchul against 458 are some of the most exciting Brothers against Terran games. So see you next time.